Netflix, yes, that Netflix, has finally dipped their toe into the world of AI. They have released Go With The Flow, which allow you to have more fine-grained control over videos. If you want to change the character, or if you want to have some type of motion incorporated into it, this allows you to do this. It says Go With The Flow is an easy and effective way to control the motion patterns of video diffusion models. It lets you just decide how the camera and the objects in the scene will move, and can even let you transfer motion patterns from one video to another. And you can see it here with this cat, where you're cutting the cat's tail and dragging it up, and you see that it's in one video to the left, you see the tail still there, but you're dragging it up. In the video to the right, you see that it's actually having that motion transferred into the video. You also see how the cat's head is turning. The one that's in the black, it's turning. That's because also the cat's head, and the mouth is opening, which is insane if you really think about it. Also, you can do another cut and drag. Let's say if you wanted to do like over a zoom effect, you see how you cut out the girl and then you then zoom in, get her smaller, so then the video will be like more of a zoom effect, which is actually pretty cool. But it doesn't just stop there. It says you can do first frame edits, where you see here with the laptop, you can add another picture of a laptop with a book on it, but it will still have the same motion from the previous video, but it just changes the first frame of it. See the same thing with like the mountain over here, where it's going through the waterfall and it's just changing a little bit of different scenery, but it's also being able to, well, transfer the motion from this thing. Also, transfer motion itself, where you see this person skiing using a snowboard, and then you see somebody in the water. I think that's called water skiing? Not really sure. But you see that motion is transferred to the person in the snowboard doing the same exact movement, but preserving the snowboard and the snow and the whole environment. You see the same thing with this squirrel being rotated around, and then this freaking, I don't know, gelatin just spinning around in 3D space. Still has that same motion though. You say they simply fine-tuned a base model requiring no changes to the original pipeline or architecture, except instead of using pure Gaussian noise, they use wrapped noise instead. Diffusion inference is exactly the same, cost running at the base time, down to the last byte. So it seems like instead of they using pure Gaussian noise, they're using like different things like optical flow, and having that be the driving face, having that be the driving force for the new AI, which is pretty cool if you ask me. They have some videos of the cut and drag feature with the rubber duck and some other videos of them, which is one right next to the second from the right is their model, and then the rest of them are different type of models that are doing the same type of task, which is trying to change the object of a video and change the direction using AI. And you see that, well, it seems like Netflix is doing pretty good, where it's changing the object and how it's moving, but it still looks pretty good. Some of these other ones look a little bit choppy, and a lot of the other ones kind of warp a lot more. So Netflix isn't too bad. The only one that seemed like it's kind of keeping up, and I say it's SG-12V, but it's still not as good as it seemed like Netflix one. Netflix is actually doing pretty good, but this is a first step into the AI space, and of course it being video definitely helps out. I'm pretty sure with Netflix this can definitely help out with Netflix having more fine-grained tools to use for their own TV shows and movies. With this type of AI, I'm pretty sure it can help in post-production, because they film after they have the costly sets and paying these actors a ridiculous amount of money. These little fine-grained details could really help out with lowering the cost of production and having to not reshoot. They even have the boat where it's traveling in a straight line and then it's curving off. They have these images here how they change the trajectory of the boat using the cut and drag feature, which is pretty cool. Same thing with this butterfly over there to the right, where it's changing based off the trajectory that you have inside of the video. So the real change in this is the warped noise visualization. They said they introduced a way to generate Gaussian warped noise very quickly, which is important because they needed to do this for millions of videos. So having that speed definitely helps with training, and definitely is better than just the pure Gaussian splatter. And so you see you got this Rick Roll video here, which it seems like you can tell with the optical flow and then the warp noise, where it helps speed up the process. And you can definitely see it's like this moving dot, which is pretty cool though. This is more example of the first frame edit where they have this original cake, but then they put different types of cakes on there, like one with flowers and then one with a car on top. But you see it still preserves the movements of the first original video. Same thing with this pan around of this rock. You see it does a switch to the lighthouse, and then it also delete the rocks. And you see that, hey, it still preserves all that information within the video and how it's actually moving. And so they do this with a few other things. Like they even did one with a computer and a chair with the laptop on it, and it spins around, and you see they switch it out for a dog and they switch it out for a crown. It still does the same spinning movement, and you can still see that it's understanding the object and maintaining the object within it. But not only that, you can do like turnable camera motion transfer, where you see they have this gelatin substance and it's turning, and then you see how it transferred to these logs here versus other competitors. You see the same thing with like rat and cheese and this snowman here, where it's just turning based off the gelatin around it. It's still preserving that motion based on all that stuff, which is pretty cool. And basically they give out more examples of this. You should definitely check out their GitHub page, but it's definitely just comparing this to other models and basically just gloating and saying we were the best at this compared to competitors. And of course, if you're Netflix and you have billions of dollars to throw at this, and it definitely speeds up your process, makes sense to me. Tell me what you think down in the comment section down below. If you think this is pretty cool, or you think this is nice but not there yet. They are releasing a Hugging Face for this, and they have released this to be open source, so you can check this out on their GitHub page. But if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest AI news and tech, you should definitely like and subscribe. With that being said, your boy Dex Not Dexter out.